Hello friends, Kuyan here, and today I'm going to react again with videos taken before disaster series from TOV. And it was kind of sad because I thought this was going to be a little bit longer of a video series from TOV. Didn't know like this is only like cut short, and this may be the last video taken before disaster by TOV. Hopefully friends, before I'm going to play this video friends, hopefully you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, so hopefully you can support me friends, and thank you for all your support. So let's get right into this video.
Every so often, a camera captures the exact moment when everything changes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's an accident, others call it fate, but one thing is always true. The people recording almost never realized it would be their last video ever. And today's video is dedicated to videos that were taken right before disaster struck.
I love like how he is almost like a presentation from investigation. Like I always love that like straps. I don't know what they're called, but it's like investigation straps almost.
Is a volume 2. I believe we did the first video a year ago. But with that being said, I hope you guys got your food ready. I hope you fluffed your pillow before watching this video. Like I've said before, a lot of you guys say you sleep during my videos, and hey, that's great. But does that mean I'm boring? Guys, let me know. Like, if you guys keep saying that you sleep during my videos, am I boring to you? Hopefully not. Hopefully
I'm
you
still
sleep.
standing. I usually just stand whenever I try to react one of these videos. Also, a few friends, like I don't know how you're watching this video because there's a lot of people that actually watch throughout the video. I'm pretty sure, do you watch the video or do you just put me in the background? That would be very, very interesting.
My soothing voice. But with that being said, this video gets serious and pretty dark, so viewer discretion is advised. Let's get started with the topic. Azerbaijan Airlines flight J28243. Now what I'm about to tell you makes sense, but I just want to make it clear for the newcomers of this channel, I can't show these videos. I literally cannot show almost all of them on YouTube. Yes, I will be presenting with the respected image behind me. However, I will play the video up until the point where
Okay, that still makes sense because you know YouTube is just very bad for censorship in this videos within YouTube.
disaster strikes. On December 25th of 2020.
Also understandable, like you don't want to like get your other viewers, you know, watch from these violent videos and stuff. And you know, advertisement don't also want to, I guess, support those type of videos.
A horrifying video circulated showing an Azerbaijan airplane in its final moments. The video was shot by an eyewitness and captures the exact point the aircraft starts to go down midair, descending rapidly before crashing. Before we talk about the footage, let's back up a little bit to the start of the flight. The flight had taken off from Baku, Azerbaijan, heading toward Aktau, Kazakhstan. On board the flight were 62 passengers and 5 crew members. The aircraft was an Embraer E190, a relatively modern regional jet. Everything had seemed normal and the flight, like most flights, had expected to reach its destination with no issue. However, that sadly didn't happen. About 40 minutes after takeoff, as the plane approached Grozny and entered Russian airspace, the crew reported losing GPS navigation because of jamming. Shortly after, it said that passengers reported feeling a sudden jolt and hearing strange noises from the fuselage. Now, for those who don't know, the fuselage is the main tube-like part of an aircraft where passengers seat, with the wings and flaps being kind of just extras. In the radio transmission,
This somehow like electro-based warfare
between the pilots and the tower, the pilots attributed the sound to a bird strike. But from a video recorded by a passenger on the flight,
Yeah, it seems like the plane is just completely fine. It's just like going down extremely fast.
a part of the aircraft appeared to have taken some damage inconsistent with what a bird strike would do. According to sources, the cause of the crash was rather shocking. It wasn't a mechanical error or pilot error, it was something external, political even. 4 sources close to the investigation report that the flight was accidentally taken out by a Russian air defense system. It was apparently the result of a miscommunication within Russian forces operating near the border. Footage taken from after the crash shows holes in parts of the plane, and that actually gives some substance to the idea that the aircraft actually did come down due to external interference. But why would Russia have any need to bring down an aircraft? Well, in the war between Russia and Ukraine, Russia has allegedly been known to use jamming technology and anti-aircraft weapons to confuse and take out Ukraine's drones that try to go over that area. This is floated as the most likely reason why this particular commercial aircraft was accidentally taken down. Also, the data obtained from the aircraft after the jamming stopped revealed the pilot struggled with controlling it for a while before crash landing somewhere near the coast of the Caspian Sea. Of the 68 people on board, 38 of them were confirmed dead, including 2 pilots.
So it seems like half of the people survived. So at least this case was not that fatal.
The other passengers on board survived with varying levels of injuries. This has
Okay.
since become one of the most politically sensitive aviation tragedies in recent years. To date,
Yeah, it's like very, very weird because the plane is completely fine.
no official public acknowledgement
It looks like
has been
fine.
made by the involved governments, and much of the
So there has to be like some kind of electro jamming in this one.
investigation remains classified.
Damn.
Linda Rogers' heartbreaking final video. So on the morning of February 23, 2018, an explosion would shake the foundations of an entire house in the Dallas region of Texas.
Whoa. An explosion? That was like that was like out of nowhere. So this is like a foreshadowing that the explosions will happen in this video.
Leaving one dead and some injured. On that terrible morning, 12-year-old Linda Michelita Rogers recorded what would tragically be her final video. This video was taken inside her family's home in northwest Dallas, Texas. Now, Linda is known to have been a vibrant cheerleader known for her bright smile, and was described by her mother as someone who was always willing to help. That morning, she was excitedly preparing for a cheer competition that she was to be a part of, walking viewers through her hair routine and showing how she wanted to style it for the event. From the video, you can tell she was full of energy and excitement, laughing as she got ready and all. It's extremely eerie and sad seeing how happy she was compared to what
It's always like heartbreaking to see like people die from their last moments.
was about to happen next. And what happened was, as she was filming this little video, there had been a gas leak in the house that ended up exploding and taking her life. Investigations
Oh my
later
God.
revealed that this was actually something that had been building up for longer than that video, a faulty gas line installed by Atmos Energy that had been leaking for days. The leak had already caused the destruction of 2 houses before taking Linda's life. Unfortunately, despite being informed of the situation after neighbors
For the love of God, please have like a lot of money from these like, companies that has been doing this shit, man. They never like take a lot of like responsibilities when it comes to these type of deaths, man. It's so
had
sad.
reported the smell of gas, nothing was done in time. Some believe that if proper action had been taken, this entire tragedy could have easily been prevented. Now,
Yeah.
when the explosion hit, it was catastrophic. The blast destroyed the Rogers home completely and apparently could be heard from blocks away. The sheer force of the explosion sent debris flying across the neighborhood, damaging other homes and vehicles. Linda was found severely injured among the wreckage. First responders rushed her to the Children's Medical Center as fast as possible, fighting to save her life, but despite their emergency efforts, the injuries were too extensive. She was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. Her parents and her brother, who had also been inside the home at the time of the explosion, survived but were left with serious injuries, both physical and emotional. In the aftermath, the family made the heartbreaking decision to release the video Linda had recorded that morning. They hoped it would serve as a powerful call for greater accountability around gas safety and corporate negligence. Atmos Energy, under intense scrutiny, initially blamed the leak and the eventual explosion on factors like heavy rains, shifting clay soil,
What the fuck, man?
and aging inflexible steel pipes in the neighborhood. They later carried out repairs and replacements on the gas pipelines in the area, but for the Rogers family and the community, the damage had already been done.
Yeah.
A young girl full of life and dreams was gone, and no amount of repairs could ever undo the heartbreak her death left behind.
It was like a painful lesson. Just always have a maintainer, Always keep those top shape when it comes to like all the gas. Because I don't know about this, friends. Here in the Philippines, we don't have gas pipes that going around the home. That's actually a very interesting concept. Like here in the Philippines, we only buy gas tank. We just put a hose on it through the stove. And the stove is placed below, and there's the gas tank below the stove. That's actually kind of like scary. I know, but it seems to like work alongside. We never experienced those type of like disasters, but I think hopefully it would be pretty safe to mitigate, this kind of disasters if pipes were included. But I don't know. It would be very interesting to have that idea.
Ivan McGuire
It's like really try to avoid, feeling all those gas leaks and eventually it might explode and stuff.
jumped but forgot his parachute.
Wait, why are you seeing kittens on the screen? Well, YouTube age restricted the video. Oh my god. OG vid. But luckily it told me to timestamp. Okay, out of precaution, replacing the footage with animals.
Shoot.
Because you can just use your imagination. I don't know why. It's just an image. If I guess stuff just like try to have like a presentation of the image. I don't know why it's still like age restricted.
This is the chilling story of a skydiver who jumped without a parachute and caught it all on film. I want to make it clear that this person in the video is not him. He had a camera strapped to him, so it's like a first person type of view. So this was his view. This was most likely his friend or someone that was joining him.
These cats are so adorable, man.
So this happened on April 5th of 1988. Ivan Lester McGuire boarded a Cessna airplane over Franklin County, North Carolina, ready for another routine dive. As a professional diving instructor with over 800 jumps logged, this was just another day at work. He had his camera strapped to his helmet and was prepared to take a dive just as he had done hundreds of times before. When the plane reached the jump altitude, Ivan leaped out from one side of the aircraft while the other instructor and student driver exited from the opposite end. Everything appeared to be going to plan. The sky was clear, the plane steady, and the group began their controlled descent. In a chilling realization midair, Ivan reached for his parachute cord only to find out he wasn't
Why are all the kittens and the puppies in this video is wet?
wearing a parachute at all. In the rush of the day, or maybe just excitement, he had forgotten to strap it on.
Damn, that is just a disaster, man. Also, the cute videos and the cute puppies doesn't help this video. It actually makes it a little bit funny. Even though it's pretty tragic, like the person just jumped without a parachute.
He had carried another backpack filled with camera accessories and forgot to take the actual backpack with a parachute in it. The video shows the moment the other instructor and student pulled open their chutes, and Ivan is seen to have tried to get his chute open when he realized his error. His last words were recorded as he frantically searched for his parachute. The experienced skydiver said, "Oh my god, no," knowing that what awaited him was a painful end. Investigators ruled out the possibility of an intentional attempt to take his own life. Ivan had made over 800 successful jumps, and even 2 the same day before this one. As some say, he must have been focused on filming the jump and felt the weight of his back was a parachute. Ivan plummeted helplessly toward the ground at insane speeds, and his body was later found about 7 miles from the airport. Investigators ruled it as a tragic human error worsened by poor safety checks. And what makes Ivan's case especially sad is how easily it could have been prevented.
Yeah.
Multiple safety checks were supposed to be standard practice before jumps were sanctioned, but on that day, a simple misstep sealed his fate.
Damn. Just one simple
Devin
mistake.
Holmes shot on Facebook Live. So before I get into this one, I do want to say that this is a video that circulates around the internet a good amount. I blurred out the weapon because we're on YouTube, but this is a popular video that's shared around a bunch of internet forums, maybe even most likely in Discord servers as well. But I'm very glad I can talk about this and inform you guys on what actually happened, the results, and the fact that, spoiler alert, he's alive. So let's get into it. On April 1st,
Interesting. He survived? That's kind of crazy.
2018, at about 2 in the morning, a Facebook live stream captured what would quickly become one of the most shocking and viral incidents of the year. Devin Holmes, a 26-year-old from Houston, Texas, was sitting in a parked car with 2 others at a gas station, casually talking, and the woman beside him was playing with a loaded firearm, unaware that the next few seconds would change his life forever. Sitting beside him here, well, you can't really see here, so it's probably going to be on the screen, but that woman is named Cassandra Damper. As the live stream rolled, she picked up a handgun, flashing it for the camera, joking, and pointing it carelessly around the car. Devin, noticeably uneasy, tried to de-escalate the situation, warning her with a simple but chilling line, "You're making me nervous." The man in the backseat tried to calm him down, telling him that the gun wasn't loaded. Sadly, this wasn't the case. Moments later,
Never ever point anyone with a gun, man. Even though it's not loaded, it's always taken care of because you just never know, man. Never play a gun like that.
a single shot rang out. The camera jerked and caught everything. This woman that was playing with the pistol ended up trying to be funny and aiming it at him, saying some dumb quote, and accidentally, well, yeah, I mean, it was an accident. She was just being really stupid. I don't think she was actually intending on shooting him. But anyway, she actually ended up shooting him in the head. Yes, that is almost death certified.
What? How did he survive from this?
But this strong man ended up surviving. We'll get into that a little bit after, but so...
Ooh, I would love to see the detail. It's actually extremely hard to like survive a gunshot wound. There's actually a very interesting man, friends. Like, there's a person within the Civil War in America. He got shot in the head like this one. And because the bullet was so weak, it actually burrowed downward. So he has like a very interesting hole in his head. I don't know if that was true, but like, it does make you wonder, like some people can survive with a headshot.
So she shoots him in the head, right? What happens next? Does she take accountability? Does she try to help him out? No. Her and the guy in the backseat run out of the car. Attempted murder right there. The live stream cut shortly after.
That's actually a very... if they didn't run from there, they could have just like saved his life, and you know, their prison sentence would be just like minimal. If they run away, then you know, you're admitting like a crime there.
But not before it showed Devin slumped over, bleeding from a gunshot wound to the head. But somehow, against the odds, like I was saying, he survived. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition and placed on life support. Over the following months, he underwent multiple surgeries and an intense recovery process. As for Damper, she initially claimed the shooting was an accident, but the video shows that she cocked the gun and pointed it at Devin. If it was all a joke, the one thing she shouldn't have been doing was waving a loaded gun around. Authorities later charged her with aggravated assault with serious bodily injury and tampering with evidence after it was revealed that she attempted to wipe gunshot residue off her hands before police arrived. Yeah, it's totally not like you live streamed yourself doing the action. What is the point of cleaning the gun? We saw it happen. Whoa, that was crazy.
Was an interesting voice crack right there. But yeah, like I could even have that voice crack because that stupidity was like, I'm a Filipino here. Like we don't own guns here, but I know how dangerous that thing is, and you should never play it with.
Avinka, keep that in.
I actually like hear a lot of stories too. Like some people unfortunately die because of gun accident because they're just like playing around. There's even like a 15-year-old who killed one of his friend actually because they were like gangsters. You know, they really like love playing the gun around. And unfortunately, he accidentally shot him in the head. So yeah, it was extremely.
That was a crazy voice crack. We saw it happen. The horrifying incident, maybe as expected, quickly
was like top tier voice crack from Tav.
Sparked nationwide conversations about gun safety, personal responsibility on live streams, and the growing trend of dangerous stunts played out for social media attention. In an interview with his mom and daughter by his sides, Devin is seen to have lost some functionality on his left side, but is undergoing therapy to help him through the trauma caused by the gunshot wound. Uli Emanuele filmed his own death while base jumping. Uli Emanuele, a world-renowned wingsuit pilot from Italy, was no stranger to danger. Known for pushing the limits of human flight, he had built a reputation around his gliding at breathtaking speeds through impossibly narrow gaps in cliffs and rock faces. His videos, often shot with a GoPro mounted to a helmet, showcase stunts that would honestly leave any average person in awe. Now, on August 17, 2016, Uli set out.
It's kind of interesting, like some of these are like dangerous sports, you know?
On yet another dangerous feat. This time, he was flying through the Swiss Alps, aiming to pass through an extremely tight rock formation that left little margin for error. Uli, always methodical, had prepared meticulously for the jump. The footage from his final flight showed him smiling while he put everything in order to make the jump. But something went wrong. Whether it was a slight miscalculation of his trajectory,
maybe wind too can affect that,
a minor adjustment in body positioning, or just an unpredictable gust of air, Uli was unable to make the target. At the speed he was traveling, even the smallest deviation was unforgiving. In an instant, he slammed into the side of a cliff at high velocity. Rescue teams arrived quickly, but it was already too late. Uli had died on impact. He was 29 years old, and like I said, Uli wasn't just another thrill seeker. He was one of the most respected athletes in wingsuit flying. He had made a name for himself in the base jumping community when he filmed a jump for GoPro's YouTube channel, where
kind of crazy, like sometimes people who are professional, you know, extreme professional, they did everything right. They have all the safety stuff that they've been doing. Still can go wrong when it comes to this like dangerous sports, you know. It's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
He used a wingsuit to fly through a 2-meter wide cave. But when you're soaring at speeds upwards of 120 miles per hour with only raw instinct and muscle memory to guide you, there's no margin for error. To this day, Uli Emanuele is remembered not only for the way he died, but more importantly for the way he lived, chasing the impossible, inspiring countless others to fly, and treating the mountains he loved with awe and humility. His legacy continues through the countless videos he left behind, each one a breathtaking tribute to the extraordinary risks and rewards of human flight.
Crazy.
The Bow Wow Per...
But I don't think it's flight. I'm pretty sure it's just gliding.
Or tanker explosion. I really hope I'm pronouncing Bow Wow Per correctly. On the morning of June...
Bow Wow Per. It seems like India.
June 25th, 2017, a devastating...
Oh, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a tanker? That's a down tanker. With flammable stuff on it. Okay, this is crazy. You need to get out from that place because the fire might spread, you know, it's very easily too because if there's like full gas tank on that shit.
Tragedy unfolded on a highway near Bawalpur in Pakistan's Punjab province.
That seems like Pakistan, not India.
A fuel tanker overturned after the driver lost control while trying to make a sharp turn. As fuel spilled across the road, word quickly got out to the nearby villages. Hundreds of people rushed to the scene, carrying pots, buckets, and whatever other containers they could find. Many were hoping to collect free fuel. Context here being that it was a highly valuable item in a region where poverty sort of ran deep. It's said that to some of them, that was their opportunity to get as much free cooking fuel as they could. Maybe understandable, but on the other hand, they were risking everything to do that. A risk that would come true, resulting in the death of about 200 people was about...
What? 200? 200? Did I hear that right? 200 people die from this. That is crazy. Like we even like watched that plane crashing down. Only half of the people survived that, and half of them unfortunately died. But this one, 200 people died. That's crazy. Crazy.
To happen. At approximately 6:30 a.m., a spark, reportedly caused by a discarded cigarette, ignited the puddle of fuel. In an instant, a massive fireball erupted, engulfing the crowd in flames. Eyewitnesses described seeing people on fire, running desperately, trying to help themselves. Vehicles were reduced to charred skeletons. The intensity of the flames made it nearly impossible for rescue teams to approach the area quickly. When the fire was finally brought under control, sadly, not everyone was lucky enough to leave with some burn injuries. Many bodies were so badly burnt that they were unrecognizable. In the aftermath, the government was heavily criticized for failing to prevent the gathering of civilians around the accident site, a pattern seen in similar incidents in developing countries. Safety protocols were either non-existent or unenforced, leaving people vulnerable to one of the most avoidable mass casualty events in modern history.
That is
Irina
crazy.
Glazunova filmed her last moments. Tragedies are always terrible, but when they happen in the middle of a happy moment, they're even worse. On May 26, 2024, Irina Glazunova, a 24-year-old influencer, was partying with friends in Antalya, Turkey, and it was supposed to be a night filled with laughter, music, and memories. Little did she know, it was going to be her last. As the night came to a close, Irina and her two friends decided to record one more video as they made their way home. They lip-synced and danced along to a song by the Russian boy band Hunger Boys. Quite ironically and eerily, the song they were singing along to is titled For the Last Time. In the video, Irina is seen holding the
Yikes. I don't know what happened here. It seems like a pretty normal night.
camera, walking backwards while recording her friends who were dancing ahead of her, and caught up in the excitement of the moment, one of them noticed the danger looming. There was an open entrance to a subway train station.
Oh shit. Oh no. Oh shoot. That is not good. They're going to get. Oh no. Oh shit.
Just behind Irina, an unprotected drop with no rails or barriers to warn anyone.
What? Why didn't I? There should be like some kind of warning between like rails or even like trains and stuff, you know?
Her friends, still laughing and singing, also failed to spot the hazard in time. Before they could react, Irina stepped into the space and fell. The entire accident unfolded in the matter of seconds. Emergency responders arrived quickly after frantic calls were made, but despite their efforts, Irina's injuries were far too severe. The fall had caused critical damage to her head and neck, and she was pronounced dead shortly after.
Damn.
In the aftermath of the tragedy, local authorities had installed a barrier around the underpass where Irina had fallen. It was something that should have been there all along, but unfortunately, that's not how things played out. Rest in peace to Irina.
It seems like they're not also drunk. They're just like sober, just trying to like playing around like, within the completely normal street. Like that's kind of crazy.
Mauled by lions trying to impress girlfriend. This is a very hard.
Oh my god. Damn. Unfortunately, a simp died for a girlfriend. Damn. Never try to impress a girl, man. If you try to impress a girl, at least give her something at least. I don't know. Do you need to really impress that girl, man?
Hard to watch, but it's a very interesting one too. I mean, as you can see, before we even get into the topic, some of the people commenting on because this video is on YouTube Shorts, but you can see the condition that these lions were in didn't seem too, let's just say, too clean. It didn't look too.
It's also very barren. Like it's like you're getting put on a prisons or something because those walls are very dilapidated. I think that's the word, dilapidated. Like they're very like. This is not a good sanctuary for lions, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure I can understand why lions are very aggressive on this one. Maybe they're also very hungry.
Clean, and they don't look like they're living a good life.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's get into the man that was mauled by the lions. In January of 2025, Farhad Iriskulov, a zookeeper at a private Uzbek zoo, was killed trying to show off to his girlfriend. While on his night shift, Farhad made a decision that would prove fatal. He unlocked the gate where the lions were kept, stepped inside, and calmly walked towards the big cats. At first, the lions seemed uninterested. They just sat there, watching him, almost looking inactive. They gave no immediate reason for alarm. However, as he got closer, things changed. The lion suddenly stood up and began walking towards him with a noticeable speed. Probably shocked, Farhad stepped forward, moving quickly, as if instinctively trying to put space between himself and the lions. He backed up all the way to the gate, but the gate was shut behind him, leaving no easy escape. The lions were already too close. And although this would have been the perfect time to attempt opening the gate, even slowly, Farhad hesitated. His back now pressed against the gate. It was as if he knew this was it for him. Maybe that's also why he switched the camera to his face, though I personally think he was just frantically tapping his phone. But anyway, in a shaky attempt to calm the situation, he began talking to one of the lions, a big male named Simba. He ran his hand through Simba's fur, speaking to him softly, telling him to stay quiet. There was definitely some familiarity there, because Farhad had been working with these lions for a while, and perhaps in that moment, he believed that bond would be enough to save him. But the truth seems to have been different. He was a zookeeper and not really a trained animal handler or a lion whisperer. That's just me speculating though. The point is, it looks like his relationship with the lions wasn't as deep as he thought it was. A few seconds into petting Simba, one of the other lions made the first move. It lunged and bit his hand, and from that point, there was no way back. Even as the attack escalated, Farhad kept trying to talk to Simba, trying to command him and the others to be quiet, trying to somehow bring them back under control, but it was too late. Reports say that the three lions ended up taking his life, and in the grim aftermath, it was confirmed that several of his body parts had been eaten.
That is just very brutal, man. Never play with lions, I guess, or any type of wild animals, or for that matter.
Helen Nyabuto filmed own drowning. On August 18, 2022, Kenyan nurse Helen Wendy Nyabuto live-streamed her final moments while swimming at a pool in Ontario, Canada. During her Facebook Live, she laughed, answered comments, and swam casually. She looked relaxed and happy, enjoying a rare day off.
Wait, there's no other people that watching you while you're swimming?
From her demanding job at a long-term care facility. For her, this was just supposed to be a fun day. For the first several minutes of the stream, Helen moved comfortably between the shallow and middle parts of the pool, occasionally speaking to her viewers and responding to their messages in both English and Swahili. She was clearly in high spirits. But at one point, she decided to swim towards the deeper end of the pool, and that's when things took a turn. After diving in, she began using the technique many casual swimmers use in deep waters, pushing herself forward by leaping off the pool floor. It worked a few times and she managed to stay above water. But on the last attempt, she hadn't realized she'd gone deeper into the pool, and when she tried to use her feet to jump off the pool floor, there was nothing there. And that was the moment that changed everything. Panic set in. Helen tried to keep herself afloat, but her strokes grew weaker. She was not an experienced deep water swimmer, and her body language quickly shifted from playful to distressed. The live stream's still rolling, which I can't play that part of the video. In case you're wondering why I'm looping the beginning part, I literally can't show her drowning on YouTube. Anyway, the live stream.
That'd be very interesting, like, because, if you know, friends, like, the main reason why other people drown is basically because you're panicking a lot. The best way to actually just relax is let your body float, because our body can float in water. If you're struggling, like, try to put your head above the water, you're basically drowning because your body is, like, not placed evenly to float. You're just, like, sinking towards. But if you lie yourself flat, you can actually, like, float.
Still rolling.
I think there are cases where some bodies don't float, but you can float if you just try to relax yourself.
Caught the splashing and gasping as she tried to survive. What made this even more tragic was that she was completely alone. There was no friend watching, there was no lifeguard, no one to jump in when she needed it most. Despite her visible struggle and cries for help, there was no immediate response. The livestream continued for over 3 hours.
Whoa. Also, why didn't people try to ask some help if this was a live stream?
Water still, the camera angle unchanged. She had entered the pool shortly after 2 p.m., but her body wasn't discovered until just before 5:45 p.m., when another hotel guest finally noticed and raised alarm. When her father back in Kenya saw the video, he was devastated. He described Helen as the backbone of their family, someone who had taken the responsibility of helping support and educate her younger siblings. Her death, he said, had taken him back to square one. He had no idea where to start rebuilding. Helen's passing left a deep wound in the Kenyan community, both in Canada and back home. She had come to Canada full of promise and ambition, working hard to make a better life.
That's crazy, like, you can just, like, die from just a simple incident like that. Crazy.
Not just for herself, but for her entire family. A GoFundMe was started for Helen so that her body could be sent back to Kenya for a proper burial. Her father explained that it was Kenyan culture for one to be buried where they were born, and that he wouldn't be okay knowing that his daughter was laid to rest outside of the country. The target of the campaign was $50,000, but the family was able to raise more than the amount they wanted. Since this is the last one we're going to be talking about today, I do want to say rest in peace to all the individuals we talked about in today's video.
It's actually so fatal and very sad, man. It's so fucking tragic. You can die simply, like, just swimming in a pool alone. That's actually so crazy. It's so sad, man.
So that's going to be it for today's video. If you think I earned your subscription, it would be cool if you could subscribe. It would be nice if I also earned your like. And if you want to watch more of my videos, make sure to go to my channel. I have a playlist where you could sleep to or actually watch me. And I also want to say something.
So yeah friends, if you want to watch the video is called Video Taken Right Before Disasters Volume 2 by Tav. And the video will be available down in the description of this video. But yeah, that's a very tragic, man. Like, never really take life, you know. Guess don't take life. Guess take life seriously? I don't know. But yeah, you can't really just be sure when it comes to life, you know. Like, even professionals, people can die, and you can just die from a simple pool for drowning. It's actually kind of crazy. But yeah, it's just an unfortunate tragedy that just happened like that. And it's kind of sad too, because all of them are also captured in camera, and you know, that will be your last fate. It's actually pretty scary. Hopefully, you know friends, you can still make more videos like this. Hopefully, please to God, I don't die. God have mercy. But yeah friends, hopefully you can enjoy the video. I'm very happy to react on that. And yeah friends, thank you for watching, and good afternoon.